Oh, hey guys, Phil here, Next72Hours, and I've been working on, my little friend, working on this Anderson plug permanent charging station for the car. And so far, I had both parts fixed and ready, but I made a bit of a boo-boo. So this is the part that's going to be connected to the battery permanently using a bolt-down system. This part will be sitting under the vehicle on the metal frame, and it'll be screwed in there or bolted in. And then this part here was going to be the bit that was attached to the plug and soldered on nicely and would connect to the vehicle that needed to be charged, but unfortunately I cut those a bit too short. So what I've done is I've gone and got a longer 3.5 meter set of plugs here and cut the ends off like that, and I'm going to be using this one and attach that to the Anderson plug. So this one will go in the car in the back seat, and this one will be permanently affixed to the vehicle. So I've also got a hold of this waterproof cover here, and I'm going to put some special grease in here to stop water getting in. It should be okay under the vehicle where it is. Just try and do this with one hand. Makes it a bit difficult, but basically this comes off nice and easily with two hands, like so. Right, and it's ready to connect, and that just hangs on there. And of course I've also got a hold of one of these handles which goes onto the plug this way, and because they've got a very tight fit, so you can actually pull it off easier and put it on when it's attached to the car. I don't have a really powerful soldering iron, like I said. I've got quite a small one, so I'm actually using my gas cooker here to heat up the plugs. And so I've taken these two off. I'm going to clean them out, widen them out a bit, get the wiring done, fix it up, and I'll show you what the finished. Now ready to attach this to the vehicle. I've got all the parts attached. Here is the Anderson plug that I replaced just before. It's got the handle on it ready to go. This is the part that will stay in the vehicle at all times. It's now got a 3 meter cord on it lengthwise, and this one is the one that will stay under the car permanently. It's going to be mounted by bolts here, and then it can just clip in here and ready to go to charge without having to open the bonnet. So I'll set it up, install it, and that will be the end of this project, and I'll be moving on to the next one, which will be the spare fuse block and external and internal spot lighting and LED lighting. So we'll see how that goes. Cheers. Alright, so it's taken a little bit longer than I wanted to get this project done, but here we go. I finally got the Anderson plug here bolted into the bumper and through the metal below as well, so it's got a nice tight seal on it. I'm going to get some of the special grease to go in here just to give it that extra waterproofness, but you can see that the plug sits nicely on here, and to get it going we simply remove that. Over here I've got the other half of the cable, and I'm going to make sure these two are connected away from each other so there's no risk of shocking anyone or getting a jump from it. And here's the handle attached to the second half of the cable, and that's 3 meters of cable there, so it should give ample charging ability. And all you do here is connect that in the slot there, give it a nice push, and it should indicate on the cable here that we've got connection and ready to jump start. So if we bring that, keeping them as far away from each other there, you'll see we've got a considerable distance from the vehicle there to jump the car. Now to disconnect, we just get the handle, give it a good pull, and this one can go back in the car, and this one stays permanently on here. So we just cover it up again with the cover there to protect it from the elements, and it's just going to sit there permanently. It runs through the front grille here, comes up away from the radiator and the heat. It's coming up underneath the air filter here, and then up here branches off to the negative and positive, and I've just used these connectors here to put it together. So what I'm going to also be using is this one here is going to run off for a connection through the firewall to the fuse box, which I'm going to install, and that's going to be running the dash lights. And I've got them all installed, the rear warning lights, which will be used for search and rescue and so on, as well as spotlights, CB radio, UHF and the AM radio, both amateur radios there as well, and a couple of other things, including the LED lighting, the actual interior lighting that I'm going to rewire because I'm not happy with how it is now. And I'm also going to be hopefully installing a second battery to cover all that extra power usage. So probably here where there looks like there could be space for a tray, and it's just going to be another small one like that probably. Should be able to pick up one of those nice and cheap from a friend of mine who runs a reconditioning wrecking yard now, and when I can get it I'll get some bigger heat shrink and cover these up nicely, because at the moment they're definitely sealed. I've melted the plastic into there, or the rubber. They're not great, but the heat shrink I got, unfortunately, once I'd crimped it, it was too late, so not quite wide enough, but I'll find other uses for it. So I'll just get a few zip ties now and hook it up so it's nice and safe down there and away from any running parts, and we're pretty much good to go. So hopefully I'll get a flat car soon, someone's car, not mine, and be able to try it out. So guess we just start the vehicle and make sure there's no connection there, so we shouldn't have any issue jumping that car up or starting that car, so that's good. And I'll catch you guys on the next, and girls of course, in the next video.